Wow. So we've got some major moves in the AI bubble as it appears to be crashing today. Check this out. S&P 500 falls as Microsoft dives 12%. Software stocks tumble. This is really significant. And we don't talk about as Microsoft being a bubble company or something like that, because this is a legitimate company, Microsoft. But they've been investing a lot of in AI, and people are worried, is all this AI spend, is this not necessarily going to produce the revenues that you said they are, right? Are people not showing up to buy your products? Where's your money going? You also have this, Microsoft heads for worst market loss since DeepSeek hit NVIDIA. And if you remember this scare, the basic gist of it was, hey, are the Americans spending too much on AI? Is all this AI spend in data centers is not necessarily going to produce the, again, revenue flows and paid subscribers that you promise? That's basically what it boils down to. You're investing to build out this infrastructure and hoping that people will pay for your AI stuff. And as the AI bubble pops, now you have, this is the headline, Microsoft sheds $430 billion in market value as AI spooks investors. And you see that just like line just drop. I think this is pretty obvious what's going on here, right? People are starting to wake up to be like, you gave me all these promises that you were going to make all this money, right? You invested in all these data centers, and then it's not turning out the way that you thought it was going to be. And now you're telling me you got to spend more money on more data centers? Is that your plan? And a lot of this stuff is based on debt and borrowed money. And when you take a look at what Trump is up to today, because this is all connected, you'll see a real problem here.
We're not going to go through the whole table, because the last time we had a press conference, it lasted for 3 hours. And some people said he closed his eyes. Look, it got pretty boring. In all fairness, I love these people. But there's a lot of people. It was a little bit on the boring side. But I didn't sleep. I just closed them because I wanted to get the hell out of here. Some of them, I didn't sleep, by the way. I don't sleep much, let me tell you. But it's funny, some of them got me in a blink. When you go like, and they took me as at the closed segment of my cycle. And they said he's sleeping. And besides that, Marco, between these two guys, if I was sleeping, they'd be waking me up very fast. They'd be knocking me, come on, you got to wake up, boss.
And we look at this stuff, it doesn't seem real because it's such a clown show, right? I mean, it really feels like we're watching, South Park as it being a documentary. The Microsoft and the AI bubble crash, it could end up being the largest in history. And then you have the President of the United States just like talking about, oh, this stuff is too boring. And I wasn't sleeping. I was just kind of blinking, closing my eyes, and that kind of stuff. I mean, I know some people say, Chris, it's not funny. It's horrifying. But I mean, how else can you react to this absurdity that's there? How can anyone fall for this? And this is actually coming from Fox News. They don't hide how this stuff is. And this also represents, the voter base. Unfortunately, if you try to explain stuff to them, hey guys, we're in a bubble. Hey, the Trump stuff that Trump says is not really great. All these promises that they're making is not going to come true. They'll just say, oh, Chris, it's boring. It's boring. Just show me more screaming and more bleeps and bloops and stuff like that. And I don't know what else to say other than this is what it is, and you can decide if you want to face and live in reality or not.
Existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home. We're going to make it easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that for the first time in their lives feel good about themselves. They feel like that they're wealthy people. And I want them to understand it. There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up for people that own their homes. And they can be assured that's what's going to happen.
A lot of the stuff he says doesn't make sense, but just put him at face value. Okay, guys, if you already own property, if you're already in the building, billionaire class, let's keep those real estate prices are going. Let's pump everything up. Let's get if we already got an AI bubble market, let's get a real estate bubble, because why not? And, these kind of people, they're not interested in affordability at all. They just, want to make it so that him and his buddies can buy up everything. You own nothing, and you end up, living the Elon Musk dream of sitting in your wheelless there's no steering wheel in Elon Musk designs, no pedals, and never owning anything is you're going to pay a monthly fee basically. And then as Trump says, we're going to drive the prices up and keep the wealthy wealthy. I guess that's their plan. If you look at what else is going on here, it's not just Microsoft. Software stocks enter bear market on AI disruption fear with ServiceNow, because I guess we're supposed to be rich off this stuff. Because remember, AI is going to replace all this and we're all getting rich. 12% down. You check out White House, they say we're the most successful first year in history. Extinguished 8 wars, biggest drop in murder rate, I guess. The most secure border. These wins just scratch the surface of the most successful first year of any administration in American history. Great.
The $18 trillion you brought in is creating an economic boom like none we've ever seen before. We are going to have 7% GDP growth. GDP now is probably underestimating where it is in 4Q, but with interest rates going down, with regulation going down, these are all taxes on small businesses, and those are going away. And thanks.
So I guess according to Kelly Loeffler, right? So she's a small business person at the Trump people. She's saying 7% GDP. And I guess we're bringing in trillions and trillions of dollars from all of Trump's wonderful trade deals. and this kind of stuff, right? It's just frank with you guys. I mean, just tell me how you're doing in your markets. Like tell me various things, because don't let the Trump people tell you how rich you are. Just tell me what's going on. And that's what we try to do all the time on the channel and our communities, have real conversations about this stuff, because when you look at the Trump stuff, they just gaslight you nonstop. And I know it's frustrating. If you look at what's really happening in the real world, this is another instance of the AI bubble. Now, we don't know the details of this exactly, but I'll just tell you what it is. A Waymo hit a child near an elementary school. The TSA is investigating. So these are the robotaxis. This would be on the Google side. Hit a kid, right? Now, is 100% that the Waymo's fault? Not necessarily. As you'll get more details. I think the kid ran out from behind a couple of vehicles, and sometimes it's hard, but would a human driver respond differently? Who knows? Here's the thing with this stuff though, is that if this technology that we keep raving about, be it AI is going to replace humans, and it turns out it's not that good, right? Or it turns out the only way to get it to work in Waymo situations is that you spend a lot of money to make it safe. That basically it's just not cost efficient. You're better off just having a human job there. Then it's better to have humans working than replacing all of us robots. I mean, this whole AI bubble just basically pops and falls apart immediately, right? Because that's their plan, is they have to have perpetual growth in profits, and I guess the only way they can think of things to do is to automate as many things as possible. But I mean, your ultimate goal is to replace people, replace jobs. And then when you look at over what Bessent's saying, this is Trump's treasuries person, he says, Trump accounts, that's what we're talking about today. Trump accounts mark a singular moment in American history in which, right, Trumpers democratize the benefits of private ownership and compound growth for Americans. Thank you, Nicki Minaj, for helping us to share this opportunity with next generation. So I'm not against people investing. I want to make that clear. I'm not against it. In fact, I encourage it. I think it's a good thing to save money and invest. But the problem is the way the Trump people have structured this stuff, the same way Trump's like, hey, if you already own houses and you're already really rich, we want to make your values go up. It's the same kind of thing. Is you're passing policies that only benefit people who have that extra money, basically.
8% of American households have no exposure to equities. So I think with these Trump accounts, the president's done peace deals, trade deals, and tax deals. But imagine like this enduring legacy as the children who are born in 25, 26, 27, 28, in 18 years when these accounts have been compounding for that period. The money goes into a broad-based index fund. And I've done a lot of financial literacy, and this is a real-time learning experiment. So everyone is we're going to shoot to get everyone a stake in the great innovation in our country, in the economic engine. And I bet if we do this survey in 5-10 years, we'll have drastically different results.
All right. And that is actually their, explain, this is their key quote there from Bessent. 38% of American households have no exposure to equities, right? So people invest in the market and otherwise. Or, going back to the first Trump quote, hey, we want to make sure if you have a home, we want to make sure those values keep going up. So that means the people who don't have a home, are never going to be able to get home because things are too expensive. This thing is like, why is it unfair or unbalanced if you don't have the extra money to invest? And I think the cap might be $5,000 a year or something like that. Or if you don't have an employer, and I think the employers can put in like $2,500 a year. It's something of that nature. Like this doesn't benefit you. So this is basically tax breaks for people who are more wealthier than ones that not. My point of view on policy is come up with stuff that generates the benefits for everyone. So I talk about public health, public transportation, education. That benefits everyone. And then again, I'm not against investing. I think you should do it, but the way that they're putting their policies in place, this is really just tax benefits for people who have that extra money to put into the market, and then it's also a way for them to keep the markets propped up. And Besson will say, "Well, guys, this is all about how everyone can participate in American innovation." But what is said innovation? It's all investing in this AI stuff. And oh, by the way, Waymo just hit a kid. And oh, by the way, if Microsoft is actually gonna work, or OpenAI, or Elon Musk Grok, like where Elon Musk Grok is all about undressing people, if that's essentially what you're paying for, or OpenAI or whatever these chatbots are going to do, and they're ultimately trying to figure out ways to replace people's jobs. Like this is what we're investing in. I hope you guys just see how we're putting this all together. You have to understand it as a whole. Or if we're investing in Trump's market, right? Companies reap $22 billion from Trump's immigration crackdown. So this would be your private prisons, your tracking services, these kind of things. Gun companies, people who sell, tasers and zip ties, like this stuff. Like it's yeah. Some people do make money off these things, sure. If that's the economy that you want.
Dollars value decline more. Would that be helpful?
No, I'd want it to be just seek its own level, which is the fair thing to do. You could have it, I could have it go up or go down like a yo-yo. I'll give you an example. Unemployment. I could create the greatest unemployment numbers or employment numbers ever. All I have to do is hire 3 million people and put them into the federal government, and you have 10 people, for one job, right?
That's right.
And what we've done is we've cut the federal employees, and they've gone to the private sector. Right. But if I wanted, I could hire 1 million people tomorrow, put them in the federal government, and she'd be writing a story. Unbelievable employment. Unbelievable employment. But we have great unemployment numbers.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Is there one number that's bad? Can you tell? Is there one number that's bad? There's not one.
And I honestly, he's in a bubble, right? He probably doesn't even know anything about this stuff anyway, because he's never actually had an actual job in the same way that regular people do, right? His dad gave him a small loan of $1 million. That's how he describes it. And then he just did real estate. And his idea of work is I pick up the phone, I call someone, I say, hey, go put a roof over there. Hey, go put marble there. And oh my God, look how great this is. I did such a good job. Picked up the phone. And then he's talking about, hey, if I want to have great numbers, I just hire all these people in the government. But no, we're going to fire everyone. And I promise you, they're all going to go get jobs in the private sector. But, for people on the ground, when we're just talking about recently, UPS is firing, Amazon is firing. And then today it was Dow, the company, I think they're laying off also. I mean, this is what regular people are facing. And then you can see this guy's just sleeping in meetings. So I know it's not fun to talk about all the stuff that's happening, but I just wanted to tell you guys what it is and sort of what their game plan is also. So do be careful out there. Please be safe. And I'll catch you all in the next video.